Welcome to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
And welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk. And I don't know how that stream went through. Did it do good, Joe?
Yeah, you did a good job, Phil. You're getting to be a master. You're a master crafter.
I couldn't get it to start, so I thought maybe I messed it up again.
No, you did good. You did good.
All right, well,
hello, everybody. How y'all doing out there in television land?
Is it television or stream?
Yeah, stream.
On the internet.
Internet, live stream, all of the above.
I'll have to apologize to the folks because hair and makeup didn't do a good job on me tonight.
Well, your hair almost looks real, so that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah, that is. I guess I shouldn't be complaining. Next time they ask for a raise, I'll have to give it to them.
Nah, you got that weave going on. It looks good.
Don't make me laugh. Okay, folks. As always, today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed here by the Treasure Talk guest and member belong solely to the guest and member, not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Joe Vizzi, Myers Metal Detectors, or Jeff Monin. Woo, that's quick. I did that because we got an exciting guest. So let's get on with the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting in all forms and educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's what we're fixing to do, isn't it, Joe?
Absolutely. We got a really, really stellar guest coming on.
Yes, we do. Make some really cool products and makes my handles, and I'll show those for sure and talk about that and talk about what's going on. I know here, I think it's like 59 degrees here today. So you guys see, I got my long sleeve shirt on. We don't get to wear long sleeve shirts often, do we, Joe?
No, I look like a camper. I'm a happy camper today.
You're a happy camper. Yeah. Well, Josh is saying read Moose. She's calling him Moose and Any, but it's Moose in New York. We get a laugh out of that. Hi, all. Thanks, Phil, for the quick shipment of my magnet and the free goodies. Absolutely. He bought a couple items from me, and we got it up to him quick for sure. But let's, I guess let's bring on our guest.
Yeah, let's bring them on.
27 degrees in Ohio, Jocelyn just yelled.
That's beautiful.
Okay, here we go. Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So tell us, tell the folks where you're at and what the temperature is.
Well, I am in Norman, Oklahoma, and right now we're in the low 40s, about 43 degrees out. So it's a little chilly day today. Little colder than you guys are. Although, you know what? There you guys are in Florida, but I think I see a ice hockey goalie stick there in the background.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, so I had met one of our old goalies, and for a fundraiser, I was able to get his goalie stick, and he autographed it.
Oh, that's really cool. Nice.
Yeah. So, does your out there in Oklahoma, does the ground freeze, or you can't?
It freezes, but it's periodic. I mean, it'll thaw all winter long. You know, you'll get a cold 3 or 4 days, and the ground will freeze. But you give it a few days, and it melts again. So it's never. We can pretty much hunt year round here, with the exception of a couple days here and there.
Yeah, we don't have that trouble. It's just when it gets 59 degrees, we get a little. Jocelyn will put on the big parka, the winter coat. We're looking for a winter coat and a hat because you're not used to it.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 40s, Phil.
Is it?
Yeah, come Friday, it'll be in the 40s.
That's chilly for us. And if you're
that is chilly for you guys.
Yeah, if you're a water hunter, it's kind of hard to do that unless you put the suit on, the wetsuit. But to me, I'd like it to be a little sunny. I don't want to be in the water when it's this cold. I'll try to hunt the low tides, the negative tides, and then put on the big coils and do that and just hunt the wet sand. Just
Well,
easy.
now's the time to do land hunting.
Yeah, land hunting too, for sure.
Perfect. It's
Yeah,
perfect weather
perfect
for
for
that.
land hunting. So, Steve, I know I got an order in with you for some more handles, and for you folks who don't know, the Treasure Talk Titanium uh, sand sifter, ultimate sand sifter, I think we call it. Steve does the handle for that because some of the other manufacturers, the handles can break right at the scoop where all the. I guess that's where most of the pressure is put on it, and we've not had one of Steve's handles ever break. So
No, those are very, very high quality handles that Steve produces. I like all of them. Even when we were doing more of the larger handles for the
stealth,
stealth, those handles are phenomenal as well.
yeah,
Well, good. Thanks, guys.
yeah. Unfortunately, with stealth, I don't know if they're still in business, and that was, of course, a larger, heavier scoop. And
Yep.
I had a lot of customers who'd use those for, for all day water hunting or for fossil hunting in the Peace River, digging in the muck. And that heavy duty handle on that worked out great too. But unfortunately, I think Stealth might have closed up shop. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, because I haven't sold. Well, I sold out of inventory and I can't get it anymore. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I also heard, and I don't know if it's correct or not, but I also heard that Anderson went out of business.
I didn't know that.
That's what I understand. Some
Hmm.
folks who are trying to get stuff from Anderson have been making some phone calls and are told that they are not in business anymore.
Oh, geez. I'm going to have to check on that because I was figuring on getting a big order of different items that I do sell from them. They have some pouches and different things that
Yep.
I sell. And, with all this talk of tariffs with Mexico and Canada, I know it's mostly used as a threat, but I figure, I better get an order in real quick just in case they don't jump
Yeah.
the threat.
Yeah, I hear you. You don't want to be paying 25% more for all your stuff.
Right. Because, this is from Tom Becker. Is the top of the handle foam filled so it will float? I guess that's on the Treasure Talk handle. It
Yeah,
is.
let me address that one. Yes, they are foam filled, but that is not what theoretically, if the handle is watertight, if the handle on the top is watertight and the bottom is watertight, which mine are because of the plug that's in the end to reinforce the end air that fits into the scoop. If they're watertight, so that it's just basically filled with air, they're just as buoyant as they would be with the foam in there. The only thing the foam really would do is if you've got a leak to where you're getting water inside your handle, it displaces that, keeps the water from filling up the handle, and therefore it would keep it buoyant. But you don't need the foam other than if you've got a water getting into your handle. But to answer the question, yep, there's foam in there.
Yeah. What is the purpose for the foam for? Just to keep
I
water.
really think I do it because it's what other people do. Other handle manufacturers have always done that. And so I didn't want to not do it and have people say, oh, it won't float, even though that's not correct. But I think what it is, if you've got the foam in there to where the water can't fill up the handle, that keeps it buoyant. You're keeping it from getting filled with water. Whereas if it filled with water and you had no foam, it would then sink because now it's full of water. So I think really all the foam does, and for that reason, then you could use any material. You could use plastic, you could use anything in there, but the foam's nice and light. But basically, it just keeps the handle from filling up with water if you were getting water intrusion into it.
Okay. And it looks like Sam Truckley wrote Tom's upgrade is so much lighter and better than what he used to use. That thing weighed a ton. And he's talking about the Treasure Talk Titanium.
Yep.
And I just sent him the travel handle, which is like this is the one for the Cube, but you see I think the new ones have black painted aluminum,
Yep.
but you see um, you see it's threaded. So you see that, folks, how that Steve's got these threaded. So they might take you half a minute to put it together, but once it's together, uh, you're not messing with that. It's very sturdy compared to the stock handle that most manufacturers make for a travel version. I'll just show you this here real quick. And these push pins rust out too or break because I've had customers have that happen to them. You see how that's done, Steve? Did I send you one of these?
No, you did not.
Okay.
But I do see how that works. Yeah, it's push pin and
It's push pin, and if you're in salt water all the time and salt and sand, what happens is everything warbles out. Is that a
yeah,
word, warble?
yeah.
War,
Whole
war,
gets swallowed out. As yeah, I get it.
Phil, just make up a word like I did with the gator. Remember I said goiter?
Oh, this is the goiter. Yes, Joe's famous for making up words. This
It's
is
gator.
it's a gator, not a goiter.
Goiter. That's
Oh, it
funny.
looks like Jocelyn is yelling at me. You've got questions.
We asked
Okay.
all the questions.
The medical detectorist. Hi, y'all. Stainless steel or titanium advice for a sand scoop. Heard titanium. Boy, it went so quick I couldn't ask.
I think
Yes,
it said that they heard that titanium can crack.
you know, I haven't seen the titanium that CKG makes their scoops out of. Correct? We haven't had any come back, have we, Joe?
No, those are extremely light, extremely sturdy, and relatively inexpensive with the handle and everything included. So
Yeah, but what notice with all scoops is you got to respect your equipment. Don't be trying to dig a 30-pound rock, with and pry it, because I don't care what it's made of. You could break it if you start prying huge chunks of concrete or rock. So you just got to respect your equipment for sure. And Steve, do you recommend a single screw or a bolt all the way down through the handle to hold it in the scoop?
Yeah, I would recommend a through bolt with a stainless through bolt with a lock nut on the other side. You can do it with a single screw because it does have that plastic core in it. You can therefore use a single screw and it will screw into that plastic. So it'll work, but I would recommend a through bolt.
yeah, just drill a hole
Yep,
through the
through the handle, through the sleeve of the scoop, and yeah, I think that's a more sturdy way to do it.
Yeah, that way you don't. Some of the scoops, like the stainless ones we have, you can tighten with the Allen wrench, but you should probably put a screw and a nut on that just to make sure it's done.
and we do it here at the shop. Phil and myself.
A
If
large-
somebody is requesting it, Phil has his drill. We just go ahead and do it for him. No
Yep.
problem.
Yeah, but it does make it, I think, hold better because you wouldn't want it to slide out while you're
Yep.
hunting and lose your scoop, or slide halfway out and then bend the scoop. So
Exactly.
I think that is a good idea to do that for sure.
Yep.
And that's the travel version, and the folks could see that threaded piece. That's different than any. I think it makes that scoop so much better because it's not that much heavier, maybe an ounce or two, but it sure makes it stronger, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it's very sturdy. When you take that apart for those folks that like to travel, when you put it in there, it's strong as nails for sure.
Absolutely. And I want to remind folks, if you have a question on a metal detector shaft or a scoop handle or anything like that, we've got the expert on there, and he's going to answer all your questions.
Absolutely.
And Jocelyn will post them in here. Now, she just posted a comment here, and that quick it was gone. Titanium is strong. I'm slow. That's true. I've been told that. Titanium is stronger than steel and half the weight. Yes, it is. It's super lightweight. That scoop, I saw a lot of those, especially to women who want something super light. If I put that in their hand, I have to make a confession. and the husband's there, I put that stainless in their hand first, and I give them the titanium. And 9 out of 10 times they get the titanium, right, Joe?
That's absolutely correct.
Because if you're going to hunt for hours, you want to have something super light, but it still has to be strong.
Yeah.
And to me, that Treasure Talk titanium sand sifter, there will be no scoop that I would want to hunt dry sand with more than that one, because that is just perfect for that, for sure. And Tim Naylor says the travel version is great, fits perfectly in the suitcase. So he just picked up.
Yeah, Tim came by the shop and got the travel shaft.
So, Steve, how long is that piece of plastic, that plug in there?
It's about 5 inches long, just long enough to stick about an inch above the top of the sleeve.
Inch off the top of the scoop. That's
Yep.
excellent, because that eliminates the problem with
Yep.
the scoop right at the edge of the scoop and the shaft there, or the handle. That's where all the wear takes place. And if it's hollow, that's where oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
old men too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that thing is surprisingly light. I'm not a water hunter myself, living out here in the middle of the U.S. in Oklahoma, but the scoops that I've worked with when I've been designing the handles to fit the different types of scoops, I'm used to dealing with the stainless steel ones. And when you sent me that titanium one to get the measurements on, I was shocked when I saw the package sitting there and went to pick it up. I went, "Whoa, that's not heavy at all." Really nice scoop.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. I think with the scoop and the handle, I think it's like 2¼ pounds. And so that, you get 10 pounds of sand in it, then you're at 12½ pounds, and that's easily doable. And then Tom Becker says, I like how Steve's angled the bottom of the handle to fit the scoop. Yes, that's this angle cut here. And that does, I think that gets it in further and makes it stronger myself.
Yep.
Dan Jones wants to know, how many different detectors do you make shafts for? That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a good question. Let's put it this way. I probably make shafts routinely for probably 6 or 8 different detectors. And what I will say is, there's limitations when I just can't do a particular detector. For example, like a Nocta macro, they use non-round tubes, and so first of all, having non-round carbon fiber tubes made, you can do it, but it's a different process to produce them, so they're a lot more expensive. But beyond that, the bigger problem is then the cam locks you have don't work, and the plastic fittings for the end of your lower rods don't work, because all the ones that I have that I've designed and have injection molds for are for fitting inside of a round tube. So you have to build a shaft with a non-round tube, you have to start from scratch in terms of all the components. So when I have customers that say, "Hey, can you build me a shaft for a Nocta machine?" I have to say, "Yeah, unfortunately, I can't." But with that said, pretty much any shaft that has a round tube, it's built with round tubes, I will attempt to work with you. I've had a few people that's still swinging old at Fisher F75 ask me if I can build a shaft for them. And I have done that. I've got a guy right now who swings an old Tesoro, and he wants a straight shaft for a Tesoro, and I'm working on that for him. So while I may not have it listed on my website, I always am willing to custom build something if I can, if it's feasible. So if there's a machine that you use or a shaft you want and you don't see it on the website, let me know. I see the question there as far as the stork leg. No, I do not make one for the Manicore. It would require some different parts that I don't have, because that thing is so thin. When you're assembling a carbon fiber Manicore shaft, the lower rod, I have it designed so that the plastic piece at the bottom where the coil bolt fits, the clevis, fits inside the carbon fiber tube, and then I epoxy that in place. To build one of those thin shafts, I'd almost have to redesign to where the plastic piece would fit over the outside of that tube. So it would take some redesign work. I've had a couple people ask me that recently, so I may look into seeing what it would take to do that. But at this point, I don't build a thinner, a real thin lower rod for it.
I got a question here for you, Steve. Have you seen the new Garrett yet?
I have only seen it in pictures. I see that it has a straight shaft. It looks like it attaches the same way like an Equinox would or a Manicore would, where it has a handle that attaches to the shaft. But it's on a straight shaft, and I'm interested in finding a customer that gets one to let me know that they have it, because I'm going to try and do some design work and see if I can get a shaft going for that. I imagine that the lower rods are the same in terms of the size of them, because I imagine that Garrett uses the same coil ear width on their coils. So it's probably something I can do.
That that new Vortex by Garrett, it'd be good for you to come up with something for it, because the shaft that's on there is old school. It's aluminum. So
plastic, aluminum plastic. It looks, now I haven't had one in my hands. I think by the end of the week we probably will. But it looks like in the pictures, it looks like the AT Pro or AT Max or all the Garrett products shafts. So, when everybody else, Manicore, Equinox, and yourself with the 800 and the 600 have that cam lock system that compresses everything down, I think that might be a plus for you to have something like that if the detector takes off. We'll see about that. But this is one of your straight shafts for the 600 and the 800, and I swear it looks just like Mine Lab might have copied you on that. Doesn't it look like that, Joe?
Yeah, it's got those same cam locks.
It's the exact same look and feel to it. So I think Garrett missed a boat with it, but I guess you'll fill the spot there.
Absolutely. As soon as I have a customer that has one, I will be looking to get some measurements and look toward producing those.
Yeah.
So in Oklahoma, Steve, what is the popularity of detectors? Is it still Mine Lab and then Nokta, or is there more people using Garrett? Because I follow some people on YouTube.
There's a good number of people still using Garrett machines here, but I think there's a lot of Equinoxes and now Manicores that are being used. There's a few people I know that hunt the Deus 2, which is a nice machine also.
Oh, beautiful machine.
Yeah. So there's quite a variety. It depends. There's a lot of old timers out here, as in all places, but that are using whatever machine that they're the most familiar with and really got attached to. They're still using. So there's really an array of different machines that get used here.
Yeah, if you know a detector, it's kind of hard to give it up.
And you know what? There's something to be said for that. When you've learned a machine and you know its language and how it speaks, it takes a while to get that familiar with a new one. And I would take an old timer that's been using a machine that maybe is an older and technically less capable machine than somebody with a brand new one that doesn't have a lot of experience with it. That older machine will out-hunt it every time.
Right, because they know it. And this comment is from Mike Mayo. He says, Joe, I still don't have my Vortex, Joe. He actually won the Vortex on Garrett's site. He sent the video in because he liked their products, and he was picked, and they put him in the commercial for it. But he still hasn't had it. They're just going to make it perfect. That's why it's taken so long. We'll just say that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come out by Christmas time, right?
Well, we started in July and now we're in December. So we'll see. It'll be fun. But yeah, when I get it, I'll take a look at it, Steve, and I'll send you a picture of it and tell you what I think. Yeah, I think it might be the same shaft that Garrett used on all their detectors. So I don't think it'd be a no-brainer for you just to adapt a few things and use like the Equinox shaft, style, with those cam locks. And I think people, if it's a popular detector, would jump on that for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting to do that.
And this is from Dan Jones. Do you have different color combinations for your shafts? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I think I would. My off the top of my head answer was going to be yes. I offer colored shafts, but I think what Dan's getting at is, can you mix and match? Can you have one color for your upper shaft and a different color for your lower rod? And yeah, absolutely. I On occasion I'll get somebody like that's a fan of a football team or whatever and say, hey, I'm a Vikings fan. Can you do purple and yellow or whatever? And as long as I have those tube colors in stock or can get them, then yeah, I've mixed and matched. Somebody actually had a guy asked me if I could build him a 3-piece Equinox shaft. This was a few years ago, and do it in red, white, and blue, like one section each. So we did do that. So yeah, it is certainly doable.
Okay, cool. Well, we don't want anybody to get a fashion citation, right, Joe?
Yeah, yeah. I'm the fashion police, so I always scrutinize everybody that walks through that door, right, Phil?
He does. And if you bring detectors in for Joe to show you how to use it, and you've got your dirty coil, he's going to yell at you too. I see that often. He says, "You're not treating your equipment right.
That's funny.
And plus, you're getting dirt on my floor."
I just vacuumed the whole carpet before we open, and then a guy comes in
With
and
10
pulls
pounds
off his coil cover, and there's sand everywhere. It's like you're back at the beach.
Oh my.
Crazy.
Yeah, you wonder how they can lug that around, all that added weight on it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I know you made a shaft for me, so you can make the custom shafts if somebody
Yeah.
wanted something. You made one for my middle and lower from our Tersace, which hasn't seen much use lately because I've been so busy. And Joe's always trying to sell it if I let him see it.
That's funny.
Can't let him see it. He'll say, "Oh, I can sell this." But yeah, I got a custom shaft on that Tersace.
Always happy to customize. It's that's something that I try to offer. Get a hold of me by email, and I will do what I can. Like I said, there's occasions where you can't really do a whole lot just because of the design of the shaft that you're trying to replace. But if it's something that's doable, different lengths, different configurations. I've had people that kind of they got a specific hard case or whatever that they travel with, and they need each section to be an exact specific length to fit in that case. And always happy to work with somebody.
Mark sounds like that.
Yeah. Well,
Match your outfit.
Yes.
You need a shaft for each outfit.
Yeah, you got to match your outfit for sure. Styling and profiling.
Yep.
But where I was going to say something, I saw something on here. Oh, somebody said they were still using a Sovereign GT, Dave Taylor, and that was a good detector. It's kind of like the Excalibur 2. It's just it's not in a waterproof case.
Yep.
I know a lot of people still use those, and they're running, I guess, MindLab's Excalibur. I think it's like a multi-frequency on that, and it works really good on the beach. The Excalibur 2 does also, both of those, because I've used one of them on the beach. And with a big coil, you get some amazing depth for that being old technology.
Yeah, that's MindLab's old BBS system. It was the precursor to FBS.
Right. Yeah. So those are still good detectors. And
I build shafts for them.
you can build shafts for them. Yeah, that one I think you could belt mount it. So all you need to do is have like a straight shaft with a handle on it. That you can swing it with. That would be kind of an easy one to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I've had a few people do just that. They belt mount or chest mount it, and then they just need a straight shaft with a handle.
And then Stacy's asking, Joe, is that a game used NHL stick?
Yes, it is.
That's nice.
And Stacia, if you remember the Tampa Bay Lightning's old goalie, Hobby Bulin, that's
Nikolai.
Stick. Yeah, Nikolai Hobby Bulin. That's his stick, and he autographed it.
Oh,
that's terrific.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. And you got a bunch of candy in that gun safe back there, right?
Oh yeah,
there you go.
But with my big head, it's
Look, I bet we could sell
there's a I collect guns as well, and that other cabinet is all my Browning
nice
A5s and Sweet 16s.
So Steve, when I get that vortex in, I'll for sure shoot you some pictures of it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because I just think that Gary kind of missed a boat on it. They could have made it even lighter if they put carbon fiber on it, but maybe it is carbon fiber. But from what I've seen the pictures, doesn't it look like it's aluminum and plastic, Joe?
What, the Vortex?
Yes.
It is. It's definitely aluminum and plastic. I think the lower rod is going to be like that. It's not carbon fiber. It's like that plastic. And
Plastic
then
fiber.
the upper part is going to be the aluminum.
Yeah. Well, they're probably used to working with that, but I think it's worth it. Pay the extra money, even on your 800. I don't think they make the 600 anymore, but they still sell a bunch of 800. So this is a good fix with that, to put it on the Steve's rod carbon fiber, because I know a lot of folks say they're a whole lot lighter when you put it on this. They just have a better feel. Plus, those cam locks are nice on it too. So that's how long did it take you to come up with that design, Steve?
The cam lock design?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably when I was first starting the business out and knew I needed to get a good cam lock. That was the most time consuming part of all of it. I think I spent weeks doing Google searches just looking for all the various types of cam locks that are out there and trying to sort out, what's the positives, what's the negatives. You've got cam locks for tripods, you've got cam locks for, all kinds of stuff, and just trying to think through what would we need for a good solid cam lock on a detector shaft. And what's funny is, where I found the inspiration for those, the basic design actually came from window washers. Professional window washers use telescopic carbon fiber poles for their window washing. When they're trying to reach up to second or third or fourth stories or whatever, they use telescopic systems, and the cam locks that they use for those are often similar to the ones there that I ended up going with on my design. It's a clamp type cam lock. I knew I wanted them to be a lot of times those clamp type cam locks are glue on, so it glues on to the upper tube. And I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be able to make them replaceable, so that if there was ever an issue for a customer, and also customers sometimes will like to carry spares of their parts. I got a lot of people that, whatever parts and pieces there are that make up their shaft, they want to have spares just in case. So with the cam lock being removable, that's obviously something that they can do. So that was one of the things I looked at. So there were just little ideas that I had, but I looked at so many different types of cam locks. I think I've looked at every cam lock that's ever been made, trying to figure out, what would be the best. And that's kind of what I came up with.
Yeah.
Well, that is a nice idea, having a backup cam. So if you were out in the field hunting, let's face it, you don't have backups on everything, and you're on a trip or you're on a site. Oh, that's a tough feeling when it breaks.
Oh yeah.
And and your day of hunting is done. So I always say have a backup detector. Yeah, backup parts. That's an excellent idea for people who are hunting to have
I
some.
always figured it was my customers that used to be Boy Scouts. The always prepared thing. Are probably those ones.
Be prepared. Yep. Absolutely. I say that every day. For sure. I also say if the ladies can't find you handsome, at least they can find you handy.
Yeah, there you go. That's all I can do is try to be handy.
That's the red and green show. Anyway, Tom Becker says, Steve, do you have any new products coming out? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, new stuff. What I do kind of is obviously determined a lot by when the manufacturers put out their new machines. That's usually when I'm looking to come up with a new shaft. So I think the next thing I'll probably come out with will be that the Vortex shaft, as soon as I can get a hold of the measurements and some information from Phil or whatever. One of the newest things that I've done is there's a lot of my Deus users who switched to my shaft and were using the RC Diggs mount for their control box. It's a different type of mount to hold their remote control. Instead of that stock mount, it's like an enclosure that encloses the entire. You put the remote inside that, and that way there's no chance. You know, it's the XP mounts are known for being easy for your hand to bump and pop off your remote control, and so these RC Diggs mounts really take care of that problem. It's a real nice mount. But anyway, the point is, because my shafts are round and the XP shaft is not, I did not have a version of that particular mount for my Deus shafts. And I had so many customers ask that said, hey, I really like this mount. I'm using it with my stock shaft. If I upgrade to your shaft, do you have one available? So finally, I got in touch with the guy that makes them. He's there in Florida. Really nice guy. He's very talented. And talked to him about, hey, would you like to partner together and make one that would fit with my shaft? So we kind of put our heads together and came up with a design, and that's been really well received. So I do have those available at this point. That's probably one of the newest things that I've come out with.
All right. Well, it looks like Stacy's got a question. Is the cam lock design patented?
It is not patented. There have been many people that have said, hey, are you going to get a patent on any of these things? And it's something I've thought about, but you know, I don't know. I will have to continue to think about that. It's not something I've done up to this point. I just feel like it's such a niche hobby that you know, there's not a whole lot of people that are going to make a whole lot of money by stealing a design. So it probably, maybe, you know, I always tell people I'm not a business person. I don't have any business training. This was something I kind of stumbled into. So a person with business knowledge would probably say, hey, you should have that patented, but maybe my mistake. I haven't done so yet, but anyway.
Yeah, and it looks like Dirty Paul's Detecting says, my Steve's detector rod makes for easy cleanup after a beach hunt. That's and the cool thing about that is when you can compress it, you can get it all underneath. You know, at our beaches, most of them have showers where when you get out of the beach, you rinse all the salt water and sand off of you. Well, you just put your detector right under it. And that's why Joe gets all mad when all the beach sand is in the shop. They don't go under that shower. And you just pop that coil cover off too, because everything's shorter now if you got the carbon fiber shaft, so you can handle it real easy. And I know that's what Mike is saying there for sure. And it looks like Steve, you still out in Oklahoma? That's
yes, I am, buddy. I sure am. You need to make a trip back out here so we can get together and have a hunt down there in Pensacola now.
Okay, and I see this is from Luis Villarreal. He said, I still need a carbon fiber shaft for my Knox 600. I'll try to get with you on that. This one would fit it for sure. And if you use the big 18-inch Coil Tech coil, this little piece here on the end, you'll be thanking me for this because this holds the weight. So it counterbalances.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about, that Coil Tech 18-inch coil?
Yeah.
I think you can see it in the back right up there.
Yep.
That thing's a monster.
That's a big, heavy coil.
I don't think I'd want to dig that deep on the beach, but hey, some people do. They like it. So I've sold a few of them. Sold them for the Manticore too. So those are heavy coils. You have a balanced shaft, and you got that problem fixed.
Oh, I just thought of something. That the person that asked about anything new, and you were talking about counterweights. You know, a lot of people have asked me. You know, they got so used to using their counterweight with their Equinox and really liking the fact that it helps balance out the shaft. They've asked me, hey, are you going to be able to use a counterweight on the Equinox 700, 900 or on the Manicore? And my answer always is not really, because in order to do that, I would have to build the upper shaft so that I could put the threaded fitting in there to screw the counterweight into. And since I'm not producing the upper shaft, which is another story, I produce the middle shaft and lower rods for the Manicore and the 700, 900, but I don't build upper shafts for them because of the way MindLab designed it. There's some challenges there that would be expensive to overcome. But with that said, people have asked me, well, can I just put the fitting into the end of my Manicore shaft or into the end of my Equinox 700, 900, and then use the counterweight? And my answer always is you can, but it's kind of up to you, because if you alter the factory shaft, it'll probably void the warranty. MineLab would not warranty the shaft if you alter it in any way. So we are working right now on there was a detector shop out in the West that asked me if I could create a fitting that would not glue into the shaft. It would slide in and then could be used to attach a counterweight to the stock shaft, since it's not a permanent attachment. And I did that for a while, but there's another guy out there who said, the problem with that was it would just slide out. Since you can't attach it permanently, it slides into the end of the shaft, but then it could slide out if you turn the shaft upside down. So not ideal. Well, this guy asked if we talked about designing one. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with how a bicycle, like the handlebars work, the gooseneck system in the handlebars, where there's a bolt and you tighten the bolt. And by doing that, you can secure the handlebars to the stem on the bicycle using that system. Well, we designed a similar system that works for a fitting. So it's about a 4-inch long fitting. We're in the prototype stage now. We're having it field tested, but it's about a 4-inch long fitting. You slide it into the end of the shaft, and there's a screw down in there, and you just tighten the screw with a screwdriver, and it secures that fitting into the shaft so that it won't slide out. And then, as a result, you can use your counterweight with the Manicore or with the 700, 900. So we're just getting ready. In fact, I think just today I got prototype in the mail. Let me I'll open this up. We'll do an unboxing right here while we're on the air.
Yeah, while we're chatting. That's right.
Unboxing a new product.
Yep, there it is. So, and I don't have a screwdriver with me, but I don't know if you can see, but you see this piece right here?
Yeah.
The way that's going to work is there's a screw that you can see the head of the screw there. When you tighten that screw, what it does is it turns this just ever so slightly. It puts torque on it as you tighten the screw, and then that's what secures it into the inside of the shaft.
And then you screw your counterweight.
The threaded end here, the counterweight screws right into there. So you can use that piece. This is a prototype piece, but you can use that with your 800 with your 900, your 700, 900, or with a Manicore, so that it sort of resolves the issue of being able to use a counterweight with those two machines.
So that's going on the stock 900 and or 700, 900 and Manicore shaft?
Yep.
So you could use that Manicore 18-inch coil and put the counterweight on it and be balanced, because those things are always nose heavy when you get the big coils on them.
Absolutely.
Even the 15 is a little nose heavy too. So,
counterweights definitely help, and people seem to like them. And I've had like I said, so many people want to know if they can use one with their new machines. So it was a problem that needed a fix, and I think we've got a fix here. So.
And then I see that Lewis says he doesn't use the 18; he uses the 6 and 11-inch coil. And what different weights do you sell?
Usually I tailor them to what machine somebody's using. Like for the Deus 2 shaft, for instance, the 4.5-inch counterweight that I sell, which has 2 different weight bags inside, that's plenty of weight for the Deus. It's a light enough machine that it doesn't need as much counterweight as some others do. But if you've got if you're using one of the big coils on your Equinox, for instance, I have a longer version, a 7-inch version that has three bags of weight inside. And if you want to buy one, and you can talk to Phil or talk to me, whoever, we can kind of give you an idea of how much weight to use. How to arrange those bags of shot to depending on which coil you're using. So my point is it's adjustable. There's a question there. How's it work when it gets in the water? Water changes the equation quite a bit. Most of the time you don't need a counterweight in the water because the coils are at least partially buoyant. And so, that takes the nose heaviness away from, if you're using it exclusively in the water, the buoyancy of that coil is such that you're reducing some of the nose heaviness just by the buoyancy of the coil in the water. So the need for that counterweight, it's really better used on the beach or when you're land hunting, but it's not so necessary in the water. But with that said, if you're at the beach and you're wanting to use the counterweight and then you decide you're going to hunt in the water for a while, it's simple to just unscrew it and put it in your pocket. It's easily detachable. So
Right. I just have one in my hand right there. That's one. That must be the 4 inch?
that's the 4.5. Yeah.
4.5 inch right there. Very easy to use. And I don't know if Lewis was asking about the counterweight or the straight shaft. And the straight shaft, I think, would be easier than the stock shaft. It's going to be a little lighter, and you don't have as many cams. It's 3 pieces on your 600. Now you're getting down to just 2 on that one. So that would probably work even better because you won't have another cam makes more resistance. And
Yep.
then I have a question here from Scott Beck. Hey, Phil, do you carry the Gold Monster 1000? I've sold several of those, but I don't carry that in stock in the shop, but I can get it for you. It's a matter of if you're here in Florida, it'd take me 3 or 4 days, or if you're in some other part of the country, we can have just drop shipped right to you. Because that is a gold prospecting detector, and I used one when I was out in Arizona when Mine Lab had a dealer conference out there, trying to find some gold, but all I found was tiny bits of bird shot.
Yeah.
That bird shot. It's gold now. I'm thinking it's right in the gold range. It was a tiny bit of bird shot. They must have shot a bunch of birds out there in the desert, for sure,
Yep.
or shot at them. So we can get that. So Joe, we're going to do a giveaway today.
Absolutely. We always do.
All right. So we'll do a swag pack, and I just got to remember how I do this every week. Steve, Jeff is the professional at doing this, so I just got to remember how to do it.
You can do it.
So, Joe, you run the show and you talk with Steve about different products, and I will see if I can do this.
Oh, one thing I did want to mention, just
Yeah.
for anybody that's listening is interested, I am running a holiday sale right now. It's a 10% off sale, and if you're in the U.S., lower 48 states, I'm also offering a $5 flat rate shipping on in that special. So 10% off and $5 shipping is what that is. If you're an overseas customer, the shipping obviously is more, but I'm still running the 10% off sale through the end of the year.
Awesome.
Good deal. Good deal right there. So I know nobody's asked you this, and obviously you're a manufacturer and a detectorist. Have you ever found a gold coin?
Oh, if I found a gold coin, you'd have heard me yelling about it. That's the top of the bucket list for me, probably for a lot of people. But no, never found a gold coin. The thing I've never found is a silver dollar yet. Both of those are up at the top of the bucket list. I'd love to find one.
Those are the 2 white elephants, right?
Yep, those are the ones. Those are the ones.
And what detector are you swinging?
Most of the time at this point, I'm swinging a Manicore. Still trying to get used to it. I was so familiar with that Equinox after using it for 5 or 6 years that it was second nature, and I'm still trying to get used to. The Manicore is a lot different. It looks similar, and in some ways, it's a similar machine, but it's a different beast to get used to.
It's got a lot of bells.
Just now, what's that?
It's got a ton of bells and whistles to it.
It does, and
sure.
it's funny because I usually when I use it, I do well with it. I probably do as well with it as I do with the Equinox, but I don't feel like I'm getting everything out of it that I could. I'm just not quite familiar enough with it yet, and don't have all the nuances down quite yet to be as successful as I'd like to be. But anyway.
Yeah, I like that graph that's on the color graph.
Yes.
That really makes it a lot more simplified for letting you know what's good and what's bad to dig.
Does indeed.
Yeah, we got plenty of time left here. We got 9 minutes. Okay, so it looks like the hashtag handles and shafts. That's going to be what you need to enter. And I think I did that right, Joe, didn't I?
Yeah, you did, and the folks are putting that in there just like you put it.
Okay,
They're
perfect.
entering it exactly like it looks.
And if you won the swag pack the last couple weeks, Joe, I think shipped them out on Saturday. So you should see it if you don't have it already, in a day or two.
And I stuffed it, those swag packs jammed full of stuff. So you'll be
Yes.
happy when you receive it.
Yes, and I want to remind folks that we have some deals on. I think I have 2 Garrett Sea Hunter Mark IIs left that will let go at a real good deal, and I got some other items too. Just holler at me because we've got some specials on those.
Yeah, mainly, right, Phil, the Black Friday offerings are still available. So we got plenty.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and
Cyber
Christmas
Monday.
special all in one.
Absolutely.
We were shut down for a little while, so we're playing catch up right now. So it looks like everybody's entering, and I'll let it go for another minute or so. So, Steve, you didn't find the gold coin then, did you?
Haven't found one yet. Still working. Although you know what, I did manage one other off my bucket list. I managed for the first time I dug a Spanish, a half real.
Oh, no.
Back when I was visiting Pittsburgh. So that was I think 1793 was the date on that one. So that was a lot of fun.
And that's what, about the size of a dime?
Yep, just about the size of a dime, a little thinner.
Yeah. Yeah, I've found some of those here in Tampa, and but I haven't found the gold coin either. I think I would probably sit down and cry if I found the gold coin. So
I'm with you on that.
You did find a gold coin. You don't remember that guy that was driving that old Jaguar?
yeah, that story's getting old. He brought a coin in to test the detector, and he leaves, and he couldn't find his gold coin.
Oh
So he came back the next day to look in our parking lot and look in the shop. I said, "Well, open your car," and he had an older Jaguar, and I'm looking. It's got like a center console in between the seat and the console, and it was in a 2x2.
Yeah.
One of the little 2x2s.
Yep.
I pulled that out. I said, "Look, there it is." It was right in his car. But he was having a breakdown over that. But I'm glad I found it.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
And then I lost an old silver Trime that same way. I had it sitting on the center console in my vehicle, and it slid down the side, and I never did find it. I sold my truck. Whoever's got the truck, there's a silver 1853 Trime in the console if you want to tear it apart.
Oh, that's pretty funny that they would find that and we'll go, wow.
Yep.
But it's funny. We used to do our seated silver hunts in Picnic Island. And I would have people after the hunt, a couple weeks later, they come in the shop and show me like a seated coin or a barber dime or something that they found at the where we had our seated hunts. We left it. They didn't find everything, and they thought, "Oh, I'm going back. I'm going to find some more."
Yep.
So it's funny. All right, let's see if we can do the drawing here. See if I can get this right. Let me go back to the giveaway tool. Let's see, draw, and then view in StreamYard. Oh, I got it.
You got it.
Bob Marks. Bob Marks, you know what you got to do? You've got to send us an email. Or actually, you could send it. Let's do this a little faster. Let me see if I've got my email here. My email, flphil@me.com. Let's see, I think I can do. Add a banner. flphil@me.com. There we go.
Look at that.
Look at that. I can't believe I did that. I'm turning into regular StreamYard expert here.
Pretty soon you're going to say, "My name is Jeff."
Here. No, you're too funny, Joe. But yeah, send me an email. flphil@me.com. And then also put in your t-shirt size, because I don't know what Joe's going to throw in the envelope, but most of the time he'll throw a t-shirt in it too. And you might get a Mind Lab hat, or you might get a Make the Beaches Clean hat, or you might get a whole bunch of stuff. But that's Joe will do that on Saturday, so hopefully you'll see it in a few days after that. All right, and then let's go back to the comments.
Congratulations, Bob Marks, one of the Marks brothers.
All right, let me see. I can't figure out how to get that off of there. Oh, remove. Well, that was hard.
There you go.
Hit the remove button. That was pretty hard. Oh goodness.
Imagine that.
Yes, learning the software has been fun. Let's just say. All righty. So where did we leave off at? Oh, we were talking about your finds. So what? You had any cool finds for the past year?
I don't think I found anything particularly interesting this year. The normal, several silver coins, couple of Indian heads, that kind of thing. Nothing real special this year. That half real was last summer when I was back visiting at home in Pennsylvania. That's usually where I find the cool stuff. Is back there where the older dirt is.
Yeah, older, more activity. When was where you're at in Oklahoma settled?
Well, obviously, the history out here, a lot of our history goes back to Native American history. Of course, whenever the in the 1830s, whenever the Native Americans were sent on the Trail of Tears, this is where they came. All of the different, so much of Oklahoma is Indian reservations.
Yes.
From that period of time. So while it was Indian territory or Indian reservations, there wasn't very much white settlement here at all. The first settlement, the main settlement of Oklahoma, really started in about 1888, 1889. The town I live in was founded in 1889 during the land run of 1889, and Oklahoma didn't become a state until 1907. So it was pretty sparsely populated up until about the turn of the 19th to the 20th century. So, as far as finding old U.S. coins, which is a lot of what I like to look for, if you want to find those in Oklahoma, you almost have to be on one of the old military sites, one of the old forts or camps that are scattered about the state. But aside from that, most of the old stuff that I like to look for, the old coins, I find back in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Hey, what size coil are you using on your Manicore?
I'm still using the 11. I have
okay.
not moved from the 11 yet.
Okay.
I've been told by several folks that the 8 inch is nice, that the 9 inch is nice, and I'm always up for a big coil, because anything you can do to get a little bit of an edge in some of the public spots I hunt that have been hunted pretty hard. If you can get down another half inch or inch, you open up sometimes a little bit more. So I probably will get the big coil, and I probably will get either the 8 or the 9 inch, but I haven't done either one yet. I'm still trying to get used to the machine and get a feel for it before I haven't even downloaded the new update for it. My perspective on it was get used to the machine first before you put the update in. And I'm just about to the point where I'll probably do that soon. But
okay. All right. Well, Steve, our hour is gone.
Wow.
It's 8 o'clock. It goes quick, don't it? It just
sure does.
Fastest hour of my week. And I want to thank you for being on here and sharing your wisdom on shafts and handles and all cool stuff. And I want to thank the many members on here. I want to thank Jocelyn, Steve, and Joe for being on here tonight.
Absolutely.
Fantastic
guest.
Yes.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you guys for having me. It's fun as always, and always glad to be here.
All righty. And I'll holler at you. I guess I'll have some more handles in a few weeks then.
Yep, sure will.
All right. Sweet. All right, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Happy hunting.
Guys.
Dig deep.
Thanks, everyone. Good